That fifth slot there again is for every other day classes. Okay, I'm going to talk about the difference between some of our electives that meet every day. We want to make sure that we're putting in 6 and 7. And one big elective, which I'm going to talk about next, is Spanish. And one thing if your student is interested in Spanish, they need to make sure they fill it out for both first semester and second semester. It's a full year course. So if I told the students in the classroom that they're interested in Spanish, if they didn't have line 6 filled out, you need to definitely put in line 6. If their line 6 was filled out because of multiple musics or other half-day things, then they want to fill it out on line 7. But one other thing, I'm going to go back real quick. If they're in multiple musics, let's say they're in chorus and band, they put chorus up here in line 5, and then band would go on line 6, but then they'd also have an option of another every other day class. Okay, so chorus and band, they meet all year long, so they'd be in first and second semester. But then if you put band or chorus or orchestra down here as well, if they're in multiple musics, they'd have another option as far as every other day class. And that could be a study hall, or if they're in a support class, they can use that. But then that kind of gives them one option for their other elective there. So that's something to keep in mind. And then we also have on the bottom an alternate elective. And I would really encourage your student, if they're choosing some different electives, to make sure that they choose an alternate elective, because if for whatever reason, if they can't get into their schedule, we want to know what else they're interested in. Otherwise, it's usually going to be a study hall that they're going to be put in there, and we'll notify you if there's issues with the schedule. But with a lot of students with advanced classes, sometimes we have issues getting them into some of the electives just because of how bound that schedule is. So, I'm going to talk about with Spanish. Spanish is the only world language that we offer here at Stilwell. And it's a great option for students because it allows for acceleration. It is actually an advanced class because it is a year accelerated as far as what they're getting. It's called Spanish 1 because it's actually the class that's offered at Valley South as the first year of Spanish. So if they're taking Spanish next year, they're taking that first year of Spanish in their track, that goes all the way up to Spanish 4, and it allows them to get that start, and so if they complete Spanish 1 in 8th grade, then obviously they move on to Spanish 2 as their sophomore or their freshman year, Spanish 3 their sophomore year, junior year they're done with Spanish 4 after that. That gives them a couple different options that allows them to get done with those 4 years if they want those 4 years of language done at that time. But it also gives them an option. At the high school they offer AP Spanish, and they can take that AP Spanish their senior year if they started in 8th grade. If they started in 9th grade, they would not have that option because they still have to do those 4 years. One thing about Spanish though is that it's the one option that we have here. As they get up in the Southwoods, they're going to have more options of languages. And so, if they're interested in French or if they're interested in German, they may want to forego doing Spanish this year because it's not going to count towards their foreign language years. Because what colleges are going to look at, you're going to have a lot of colleges want 2 years, but the 4 years is the optimal. And what they're going to look at is you have 4 consecutive years of the same language. Okay, so this is something that I know a lot of you are starting to think about. Hey, we want to get you started on this. But if your student is thinking about taking a different language next year, or their 9th grade year, you may wait till the next year. But it's a great option for those students who want to get a little bit of acceleration as far as their world language and get a little bit more opportunity once they get into high school. It is a demanding class. It is an advanced. It really is an advanced class. And one thing we look at for those students is that they're getting like an A or a B in their English class. Okay, because if they're doing well in English, then we think they have a pretty good understanding of language. I say it's an advanced class, but it's in that it's a year advanced. They're working at the with the 8th grade level and everything like that. But just know that it is a little bit more rigorous course, and they're going to get homework in there. So if they're in a lot of advanced classes, that could be another another class that can offer some more homework, some more time that's going to be committed. But that's something to talk with your student. And then Spanish meets every day for the year, and so it's not like this year they're doing it every other day. It meets every day this year. That's why you need to put it on line 6 or line 7 of your sheet. And then one big thing is that it's not offered for high school credit. That may sound confusing to what I've said here, But what that means is they're not going to have it on their high school transcript. So how they do in 8th grade is not going to be on their high school transcript. But what colleges will look at, you say, well, how do students or how do colleges know that they took that Spanish 1? What colleges look at is their freshman year. They'll see that they started Spanish 2, and the assumption is, okay, all right, they had Spanish 1 prior to that. So just something to know. It's not going to be the grade that they're going to get in Spanish. It's not going to be on a transcript, but obviously it's helping to prepare them as they move on with those foreign language. All right, now the next one we want to talk about is the academic electives. These are different classes that they probably had a little bit of experience in already in their elective block classes. You probably have heard of those, our quarter-long classes. These are opportunities where they actually are in the course for a semester long. So they're in there for a longer period than they are right now. They meet every day, and they can really pick up, if they're not involved in Spanish and they want a lot of electives, they can get quite a few electives in their schedule. You can get up to 4 electives actually of these different options, and then obviously and also want to pick those 2 alternates in case they didn't get into one of those 4. But based on how you fill that schedule out, it's kind of how much they're going to be able to do with the electives. So our first one we want to talk about is the first one on the sheet. All of them are listed on the front of the sheet here as far as the options, and then the descriptions are in the back. So if you have the sheet, it kind of explains what the different options. These are all classes that meet for 1 semester for every day. Okay, so we want to put them on line 6 or line 7. All right, so art, is really an expansion of what they've done in 7th grade. They're really getting more hands-on this year. In 8th grade, they're doing a lot of drawing, a lot of painting, sculpting. So they're getting a lot of those skills that in high school they're going to have like opportunities to do those specific skills, and so they're getting an opportunity to kind of see what their interests are. They also do a lot of Photoshop and digital design, and so they get a lot of experience to the different areas of art. It's a really neat experience if your student is an artistic person and wants to follow in that kind of line there. It's a great start for that class, for that area. Communications media is a class that we offer to kind of introduce the students to kind of the media realm of our world. Let's talk about the newspapers, magazines. They're a lot of times involved they are involved in making our school newspaper. They're also involved in making our yearbook and doing different announcements. I know last year they did a newscast with some of the students there, and so students are really getting involved and just trying to in identifying how the media influences our lives and how they can get involved, incorporate in that. If students are involved are interested in photo, they have a lot of photography options with this for the yearbook and with the newspaper. So some good options there. All right, drama is our class that kind of fits in line with speech. And so if your student's someone that really wants to get up in front of people and act, if they are involved in the play, a lot of our students are interested in that type of thing, and they get that experience. But it's also for students that might be a little bit timid, to get up there. They do a lot of great activities to help boost their students' confidence for getting up in front of other people. Obviously, as you get up into higher grades, they're going to be given more speeches. They're going to be given more of the talking responsibilities, and there is a speech requirement as they get up into high school. And so this is just a great way to kind of help them develop those skills. But it's also, they have a lot of fun with it. They do some different activities. They do a lip sync, which is a big thing up on the stage each semester, and the parents come in and the students get to watch it. A lot of fun, but just a great class to again kind of develop those skills, but also to have some fun. Foods is one of our family consumer sciences classes. Obviously focusing on cooking, very hands-on on course. And I'll tell you this, a very popular course. Every class that I went into, I asked how many students want foods, and over half the kids raised their hand. And that's a great thing because it's a great class to learn these skills. But the issue of it is that our teachers are teaching 7th graders in the morning, and so really the only option for that class is in the afternoon. And so what we run into is we have sometimes a few more students that sign up for it than we have spots. And so a lot of times we'll set up a lottery for this. And so if your student is interested in foods, it's very, very important that you put in on line 6 or line 7 foods. Do not put it as an alternate, and I told the students this, not put it as an alternate, because if you do that, you're definitely not gonna get into it, because more than likely it's gonna fill up where we're gonna have to have that lottery, and we want to make sure that those students that signed up for it are have the opportunity to get in. But that's also why it's important to put that alternative on there, because if we can't get them in the food, we want to know what else they're interested in doing, and we're gonna try our hardest to make sure that they are getting into the classes that they can. But obviously we gotta go on how much our numbers are too. And some of the basic things with foods was that they're looking at their cooking skills. They're also looking at nutrition, health facts, planning meals. Okay, they're getting into a lot of the those types of skills as far as and also getting into the culinary art stuff. So a lot of neat stuff that they do there, and they do a lot of contests too, which a lot of us like to get involved with in the tasting of it. All right, next one is sewing. This is a great class, kind of again going off of the family and consumer science class that they are taking in their block. A lot more options for projects that they're doing in this class. So it's again a full semester class, and it's just kind of for a lot of students it's just a very relaxing class to build these things, and also just they're listening to music. They're it's kind of more relaxed environment to kind of do these different things. And I tell our students it's for boys and girls. I want everybody's involved. A lot of times they think it's just a female course, but it's definitely a boys and girls class. We have a lot of boys that do take it. So if your male student isn't interested in this, definitely encourage them to do this, because there's a lot of options as far as what they can do with this type of skill. All right, gateway to technology. You'll notice this on your sheet as being